thank you so much for joining us. So it's the morning after, if you like. How do you reflect on the game? Have you watched it back yet?
No, I didn't. But in my mind, I did, and it's still the same way as I looked at it yesterday evening after the game. I think Villa away, we knew it was a difficult challenge, but I liked a lot the way we played. So we've created enough chances to win the game. Some very free times on a one-on-one against Martinez, and one time an open goal miss. So yeah, that's enough normally to win the game. The only thing I wasn't happy about, and I said it before, was to concede a set piece. Because if you want to win a big game, then you can't have a negative set piece balance. And that's what we had, so that's why we probably draw.
And you mentioned about creating chances. It feels, when I watched Liverpool, even when you picked up draws, lots of chances created. It's just a case of sometimes converting, making sure those big moments count, maybe going 3-1 ahead, game over. Yeah,
that's definitely something we can improve, as well as scoring from set pieces, because that can give you a lift in either a positive or a negative way, like it happened yesterday with conceding one. But yeah, a few times too many now, we didn't do justice to how the game went or how many chances we had compared to the team we faced. And that is, that's not what you want to see, because we haven't stolen points anywhere. And I think we've sometimes didn't get the points we needed to have. So yesterday, for me, was an example of that. We should have won that game in a very difficult circumstances, but unfortunately we didn't, and we came away with a draw, which is still a good, okay to good result if you go to Villa Park.
There's an amazing moment at the end of the game, you probably haven't seen it yet, where Marlon goes through and hits one, it just grazes the outside of the post, and your face, you look back, and it's almost a bit of relief. I think that pretty much encapsulated everything the Premier League's about, and probably why you love it so much.
Yeah, and that chance is maybe the only reason why Villa could say, oh, we could have won this game, or we deserved a draw. I think that was their third chance of the game. With the two other chances, they immediately scored. But yeah, I know Don Yamal, I know how good of a shot he has, I know how much a threat he is in those positions. So when he was dribbling, I was already like, oh, this
I don't like this.
No, I don't like this. And but the good thing for us was maybe that was also the minimum we deserved, that he didn't score that chance.
At the start of the year, I remember obviously when you come to Liverpool, I'm just trying to take you back. If someone would have said to you, you'll be in this position right now, would you have said, oh, I can see that, or are you genuinely a bit surprised of how well things have gone?
It's a bit of both. When I came in, or already before I came in, I knew the quality the team had, but I also knew that last season they played Europa League and the Premier League, and they hardly played their starters in the Europa League. The season before they had Champions League and Premier League, and that wasn't the best season they had. So I first of all thought it was a challenge to compete at Champions League levels with mostly the same players, and play in a Premier League as well with mostly the same players. And then you always wonder, are we able to do that? Because 2 years ago that was really difficult. But till now we've done really well, and why I thought we could be here, because I saw a lot of potential. I also saw last season was already a good season in the Premier League. But to do both during the week Champions League and in the weekend Premier League, that is not what many teams can. I think we saw that at United, for example. We saw this with Liverpool 2 seasons ago. Maybe you see this a bit with Villa as well. Last season I think they were better in the Premier League than they are now. So that was the main challenge, and but that the quality was there, I knew from the start.
Talk a lot about senior players. I always feel when you have a success at a club, if you go through Premier League history, teams that have won, a good nucleus of leaders in that team, people like Virgil, obviously Mohamed Salah, probably a different type of character. But that must be something that you must be delighted with, because are there times when you almost let the dressing room run itself, and then once they come into the training environment, that's when, okay, I take over, but you're very lucky to have good senior players that help you in that respect?
Yeah, but first of all, they help me with the quality they have. I think they are indeed different type of persons. Virgil is much louder, much more a presence during training sessions, and I mean with his voice, where Mo is much calmer and he speaks just like Virgil, mostly with his feet.
Yeah.
But Virgil also adds to that his presence is with his voice, and yeah, it definitely helps. And they will probably do things where I'm not even aware of, so that they take care of certain things in the dressing room. Because I've said that many times, when I came in, the culture was so good. So was that Jürgen, or was that also because of the players that were here? I've heard many times people talking about Henderson and Milner, that they
ran the
drove
dressing room.
ran the dressing room, and I think there's probably been an example for Robbo, for Virgil, for these kind of players to do that now as well. So they might do a lot what I'm not aware of, but yeah, they're a big help this season, mainly because of the quality they put in, but also I think for the leaders they are.
So you've got a couple of days now before the game on Sunday. You probably look at Manchester City. They played Wednesday night, travelled back, had obviously a difficult game, difficult performance. Have Manchester City surprised you this season, or in terms of not being one of the title contenders, and how they've performed this season?
Yeah, I think everybody is surprised that City is not up there, because they've been up there for so many years. They have a great manager that has shown that he can be up there every single season. So I don't think anyone would have expected them now to be so many points behind us. I do see they are coming up again. I think in the weekend they were very good against Newcastle.
Well, yeah.
So brought in 3-4 new players. So I think everybody knows that this probably is a one-time moment, one-time season, that they are not up there, and everybody, at least I expect them to be up there next season again, because you can already see them going up. Yeah, so that is a surprise. That was a surprise for me. But like I said, I think they're already much better. They had 1 or 2 difficult months. They started the season well. I think they are getting there now again. But yeah, dropped too many points in a difficult period of the season where they had many injuries as well. Yeah, and then this league is ruthless, if you want to say that. You can't, if you're not at your best, then every game is hard.
Obviously, I was going to say, for the players, it's intense. So many different games. How about yourself? Like, how do you unwind? How do you maybe get that little bit of spare time away from the intensity? And you know, I lived in the city for 11 years. It's like football crazy. Yeah. You're used to it with Feyenoord, a similar environment. How do you find that time to unwind?
I think the first half of the season that wasn't a problem at all, because there were every time international breaks. I think September, October, November. I feel now for the first time what it is not to have a winter break. And I think from November till March, we just keep on going with every 3 days a game. It's just almost like, as if you're in a tunnel.
Tunnel vision, yeah.
Just keep on going and prepare the team every single time. And there's hardly any time to unwind. Sometimes there's a day off, sometimes you go out for dinner, but your main, so now I already, if I leave this room, I'm going to go to the analyst department and watch City already. And now there's 3 days in between Wolves and Villa. There were only 2 days in between. So you immediately go towards the next. So there's hardly any time to unwind, to be fair.
12 Premier League games to go. Obviously you've got a cup final as well, and the Champions League is still going really strong. When you speak to players, a lot of them say, got to take each game as it comes. Is that pretty much how you're doing it right now?
Yeah, we do, although we do take certain things into account. So like yesterday you saw that I took 2 players that were playing really well, Diogo Jota and Trent Alexander-Arnold, off after 65 minutes, because these 2 players come back from injuries. And then if you play 5 games in 15 days, we think it's a big risk to play them every single time 90 minutes. So you have to manage that, but in general it's just game by game. But you have to look for certain players that came back from injury also for the long term as well.
And in terms of doing so, the next couple of days be quite light training, just making sure that you keep the freshness in the legs, ice baths, saunas, whatever it takes to just get everybody looking good for Sunday. Yeah,
they will have a recovery session today, and the ones that haven't played that much will train, so we have to keep them ready for the moment we need them as well. It's a difficult one for every player that hasn't played yesterday to go out again with 7 or 8 players and do that session again, because everybody wants to play. Tomorrow is off, and Saturday we prepare the team again for Sunday. So yeah, in a schedule like this, I also think it's important for players to sometimes switch off mentally, not physically, but mentally, and that's why they're off tomorrow.
I was reading something you've said about how important sleep is for the players, making sure that they sleep in their own rooms, not putting them in hotels. Is that something that you feel is really important now with a modern day footballer?
Yeah, I think, I don't know that much about this subject,
but yeah,
people
I'm interested
that know a lot about this say that sleep is the most important thing for recovery. So that's why tomorrow morning we are sitting here now at 10:15. Normally we would have done this at 9:15. Players come in a bit later because we came in quite late yesterday for them to have a bit more sleep. Because you can go to ice bath and everything, it's all important, but sleep, people tell me at least, that is the main and the most important thing when it comes to recovery. So to be ready again for City as well, we don't go into a hotel. We do during the day, but they will sleep at home Saturday evening.
I was very fortunate when I got here early, and I saw the canteen with the beautiful food. When I was here many years ago, I started in '91. It was cheese and ham toasty or cheese toasty. That was the only choice you had. I mean, it was beautiful in there. You obviously all well looked after. The food is exceptional.
Yeah, we almost have more people working in the kitchen than I have.
You could do with a couple of bringing them out to play.
So we have a lot of chefs and some very nice ladies that serve the food as well.
Yeah. I saw some of the faces when I was here. It's lovely.
Yeah, that tells you a lot about the club, I think, as well.
Exactly.
That it's still the same. And so I said it many times. It's a great building, but it's always about the people that make it even better, and that's also in the canteen. The food is perfect, but the people that are working there are special people.
And what's your darts like? I see you got a darts. Are you a darts fan? You have plenty of darts.
People would expect me, because some people sometimes compare me with Michael van Gerwen, but that's a big compliment for Michael though. But if you see me throw, you will probably not make that comparison. No. I haven't played it for a long time. I was when Raymond van Barneveld, I think people know him still. Yeah. Then in that time I threw quite a lot of darts as well, but not anymore. There's no time for it because I have to go to the analyst department. Players have much more time than managers. That's clear. But yeah, they have to run, and that's what we don't have to do. So I think they are more tired maybe after a game, but the amount of hours you have to put in as a manager is much more than as a player.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I won't keep you much longer. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck in the Cup finals, Champions League, and 12 Premier League games to go. I wish you all the luck.
Thank you.